The Milwaukee Bucks just fell directly into a massive financial trap. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks just gave the entire league a masterclass in front office discipline. This is a story about how smart teams win championships behind the scenes. It shows why the reigning champions are built to last while their rivals are panicking. The recent contract extension for Gary Trent Junior has left everyone in the basketball world completely stunned. Nobody saw this specific deal coming. The Bucks handed him a massive 4-year contract worth $64 million. This move is causing serious confusion among rival executives. Trent is coming off a season to forget. His performance on the floor during the 2025-2026 campaign was a total disaster. Shooting numbers plummeted, and his defensive impact disappeared completely. Yet the Milwaukee front office still rewarded him with a giant payday. Many respected insiders believe a secret agreement was already in place before the season even started. That is the only logical explanation for this move. Milwaukee plunged headfirst into the notorious early bird rights trap. This rule allows teams to pay certain free agents a massive premium to keep them. If a player has been on the roster for 2 consecutive seasons, they qualify. The team can offer up to 105% of the average salary. Over a 4-year period, that total max value projects to be around $68 million. The Bucks gave Trent almost every single penny of that max. The overpay feels incredibly egregious given his recent struggles. It ties up a massive amount of their remaining financial flexibility for the future. Now let us look at how the brilliant front office in New York handled a very similar situation with their own free agent guard. The Knicks were facing a potential trap with veteran shooter Landry Shamet. He was also eligible for a large extension under the exact same league rules. Shamet was a vital piece of the historic 2026 championship squad. He acted as the 6th or 7th most important player during that run. He provided steady ball handling and elite perimeter shooting whenever the starting stars needed a rest on the bench. He earned the trust of everyone. Coach Mike Brown relied heavily on his veteran poise during the most intense moments of the postseason. It was a luxury to have in the rotation. Because of his success, Shamet easily could have demanded a massive payday from the front office. He had plenty of leverage after winning a ring. Rival teams across the league noticed his stellar play. Shamet actually received larger financial offers to leave New York this summer. He could have walked away to secure a much bigger paycheck with a different franchise. But something incredible happened behind the scenes. Shamet chose to stay in New York on a very team-friendly deal. He signed a 4-year contract worth $24 million total. The details of this contract show the pure genius of the front office. Only the first 2 seasons of the deal are fully guaranteed. His total guaranteed money comes out to just $12.8 million. This is a massive victory for the team balance sheet. Think about that number for a second. The total guarantee for Shamet is essentially 20% of the contract Milwaukee just gave to Trent. It is absolutely nuts when you compare their recent production. Shamet was clearly the superior and more reliable player on the floor last year. This massive discount does not happen unless there is near perfect synergy between the player and the organization. Proves the culture is real. It is a huge feather in the cap for the front office led by Leon Rose. They have built an environment where players actively want to stay. The players value the winning culture and the incredible team chemistry over maximizing every single dollar. This is how dynasties are sustained. Discipline was incredibly necessary because of team governor James Dolan. Dolan has an intense and rational fear of the notorious second apron. He has stated publicly that crossing the second apron is completely suicidal in the modern basketball world. The financial penalties are too harsh. These strict financial limits restricted what the front office could do this summer, but they refused to let those limits cause any panic. The Knicks easily could have felt an intense obligation to throw excessive money at Shamet to keep their championship core perfectly intact. They also faced immense pressure to match the massive contract extension that Mitchell Robinson received from the rival Boston Celtics. Boston swooped in and stole Robinson with a lucrative $47 million deal. It was a calculated move to weaken the champions. Many franchises would have panicked and overpaid to keep Robinson from joining their fiercest rival. Championship windows are incredibly fleeting. Doing whatever it takes to preserve a winning core is a very common strategy in this league. But New York refused to paint themselves into a corner. They recognized that overpaying for an injury-prone center could destroy their long-term flexibility. They calmly let Robinson walk away to Boston. If you appreciate how this front office outsmarts the rest of the league, take a quick second to like the video and subscribe right now for more. The team stayed completely true to their internal value chart. Having the early bird rights for Shamet did not trick them into overplaying their hand. They maintained total control of the negotiations. They also did not let the player option situation for Jose Alvarado create any false urgency. They managed every single asset with an incredible level of calm precision. They refused to let external market pressures dictate their choices. Even if the second apron were not a major factor, there is reason to believe this front office would not have blindly paid Mitchell Robinson. They understand that a sustainable powerhouse requires constant financial discipline. You cannot let emotion guide your roster decisions. These subtle victories on the balance sheet might not look like much to the casual fan. They do not generate massive headlines on sports networks. But when you evaluate their business against outcomes like the recent Gary Trent Junior contract, you realize that shrewd management is everything. Let us look at a hypothetical scenario. To understand the true danger of the trap New York successfully avoided this summer. Imagine if the Knicks had panicked and given Landry Shamet a contract similar to what Milwaukee gave to Trent, $64 million over 4 years. That massive salary slot would have instantly pushed the team deep into the dreaded second apron territory. The consequences would be devastating. The franchise would immediately lose access to the taxpayer mid-level exception. Their ability to sign impactful buyout veterans would vanish. They would be completely unable to combine multiple player salaries in future trades. Their roster would become almost entirely frozen. If superstar Karl Anthony Towns or leader Jalen Brunson needed extra help down the road, the front office would have no mechanics to acquire it. They would be stuck with an incredibly expensive roster with zero path for improvement. One bad injury could completely ruin their title window. The Milwaukee Bucks are currently living in that exact financial nightmare. Their salary cap is completely choked by massive veteran contracts. They are locked into an incredibly expensive core built around Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard. Their overall depth is completely gone. When their highly paid role players fail to perform on the hardwood, the front office has absolutely no tools left to fix the problem. They cannot take on extra salary in trades, and they cannot sign high-quality free agents. They are completely trapped in basketball purgatory. The contrast between these two Eastern Conference organizations is night and day. One is reacting with panic, while the other is executing a plan. Landry Shamet deserves an immense amount of praise for his role in this process. He prioritized team culture and winning over a larger check. He recognizes that his skill set fits perfectly within the modern system run by head coach Mike Brown. He is set up for ultimate success. He knows his exact role coming off the bench and executes it with absolute perfection. He does not force shots or make costly mental errors. His incredible on-court chemistry with the secondary unit cannot be easily replaced. That type of connection is worth more than raw cash. The front office has successfully built a locker room where players genuinely enjoy playing together and sharing the ultimate success. This spectacular environment allows the team to secure valuable player discounts. It provides a massive competitive advantage over rivals. Every single small victory on the financial ledger translates directly into crucial wins on the court during the intense playoff grind. When you compare the Shamet deal to the Trent contract, you see the true gap in management quality across the professional basketball landscape. The New York front office is outsmarting the rest of the league with subtle and calculated moves that protect the franchise for the next decade. The difficult path to a consecutive championship requires this exact type of disciplined, long-term thinking. You cannot let panic guide you. Rival teams are constantly waiting for the reigning champions to make a major mistake. They want New York to compromise their future. But Leon Rose continues to prove that he is always multiple steps ahead of the competition. He refuses to take the bait from anyone. The passionate fan base can move forward into the new season with an immense amount of absolute confidence in this leadership team. The roster remains beautifully balanced, and the financial ledger is perfectly clean. The era of terrible management in New York is dead. A brilliant new dynasty is currently being constructed with elite precision. The champions are ready to defend their throne with honor.